Hello, everybody, and welcome back to week 6 of the Healthy Living classes for Fresh on Deck Mobile Farmers Market. I just want to say thank you all for working with us these past few weeks. I was not able to teach these classes, but now I'm back, and we'll be able to go through the last 2 weeks of our classes, or 3 weeks of our classes after this one. So let's go ahead and get started with this one. It is week 6, eating better on a budget. Let's talk about it and we can learn where to go from here. So I just want to start by acknowledging that this lesson is adapted from a lesson developed and tested by the University of Pittsburgh. It is based on a diabetes prevention program, but you don't have to have diabetes or some other disease in order to get something from this lesson. So some things I'll be talking about is, if you have some goals that you have, some things that I might talk about might not fit your goals, and that's okay because it might fit somebody else's goals. So take what you need, and if it applies to you, then apply it to you. And if it doesn't, just leave it where it is. All right. So the objectives of this week is to make a food budget, learn about what meal planning is, how to do it, how to make it healthy, and then also some shopping tips, because when you go in the grocery store, it's like sticker shock now because everything is so expensive. Everything's been expensive, and we don't know when it's going to go back down. But it's always good to have these tips and ways to plan throughout your life, so that you'll always have these tips and methods so that you can go through to the next week and be able to shop. So making a food budget, you first need to determine how much money you have for food. So that is like outside of like your housing budget, your, whatever telephone bill or whatever other bills and things that you have to do. You need to be able to determine how much money you have for food. This will determine how much you have to spend on each category of food. So that will include deciding how much money you have to spend on the food, deciding how often you shop. Some people shop weekly, some people shop every 2 weeks, some people try to stretch it out and shop every month. Or it just depends on what your lifestyle is, to what you need to do. And then also we want to be able to budget for both food and non-food items, because when we go to the grocery store or some of the bigger box stores, you always have to get like the toilet paper or the paper towels or, the cleaning supplies or whatever the case may be. And so sometimes that is also added into our budget when we are going out. So want to make sure that we do that as well. So what is meal planning? Any approach to how you plan your meals. So that can include cooking at home, eating away from home, one meal or multiple meals. Some people love eating leftovers. Some people do not like eating leftovers. I know some people that will not eat a leftover to save anything. They like freshly made meals every night, and it can't be me, but somebody likes it. Okay. But I do love good leftovers, so it just depends on the person. But we want to just be able to take that into account of our lifestyles, because, if we're eating away from home, if we have multiple meetings and different obligations throughout the week, then we want to be able to know that maybe I shouldn't buy as much stuff this week because I know I'm going to be an hour away from home or 30 minutes away from home, or, going through the drive-through because it's late at night or early in the morning, whatever the case may be. So we want to make sure that we're taking into account when we are doing our meal plans. So why do we want a meal plan? Because it helps us save money. First, before we get started on how we do the meal planning, this is just the benefits of it. The biggest benefit for me is to save the money. By planning our meals ahead of time, you only buy the food that you need. When you are at the grocery store, there's no buying food and letting it go to waste because you didn't have a use for it, or you didn't have an idea for what you wanted to do for it. It also cuts down on the number of trips that you make throughout the week. And that also means less impulsive buying because, oh, I forgot to get the cheese. So let me go ahead and go in the grocery store when I get off work. I'm hungry, I'm tired, let me get the cheese. Ooh, I'm going to stop by the ice cream aisle. It happens, it happens, but it stops down on the impulse buying. When you go in the store, you have your list, you have it all written down, boom, 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 boom. This is what I'm going to do. And then I go get everything that I need, and I don't forget anything on my list. Everything is checked off, and you go home and you don't have to go back to the grocery store throughout the week. No matter how bad of a week you had and you want some ice cream after. It is what it is. We all know what it is. So that helps us save money. It also reduces stress, and saves our time as well. And then it's also often more nutritious because you know what you're putting into the meals that you're making. So you're able to customize it to the things that you need. You're able to add in the extra vegetables that you want, add in some fruit that you want, add in whatever protein, dairy, grains that you want. And so you know what's going into the meals that you are making. So they're often more nutritious in that terms. So this is a meal planning one-on-one video from our food talk with the University of Georgia Extension as well. And so this is just talking about tips for planning menus as well. So let me go ahead and go on mute, and then I will show you all this video.
What does it mean to plan meals? For some people, it can be really frustrating. Most people don't know where to start, or it seems almost impossible to organize and plan ahead for a week or even a few days. First, get organized. Take a few minutes each week to follow these easy steps, and it will get easier every time. What does the family's week look like? Who will be home for meals? What do the kids need for their lunches? Do sports or work schedules affect the plans? Write this all down. Someone may have a special request.
Hey Mom, can I have cereal for supper?
Hey Mom, can we have pancakes for dinner?
Hey Mom, can we have Chinese food for dinner?
Hey Mom, can I help you cook?
That's not gonna happen.
The next step is to see what you have on hand at home. You want to try to use foods that you already have in the cabinet and notice which staples you are missing, such as canned vegetables or spices. Start making your grocery list based on what you need to buy at the store. Pay attention to the perishable foods that you need to use up so that you can plan a meal or two with these items. You don't want your fresh fruit and vegetables to spoil, so plan ahead when you use these items in the weekly menu you're making. If you attend the Food Talk or online Food E-Talk classes, you can get this handy reusable grocery shopping checklist for free. Keep a calendar that spells out each meal for every day of the week. Based on what perishable foods you need to use up, what your family requested, and even thinking about what produce might be in season or on sale at the store, decide what meals you have each day. As you fill in each meal, add to your grocery list. Remember, stick to your list and don't buy anything that you already have enough of at home. When making your list, try to group food items according to where they can be found in the store. That saves time. Now you're ready to go shopping. Just don't forget your list.
All right, everybody. And so that is one of the videos that you can watch or rewatch. It's on YouTube. It's the Food Talk. They have lots of great videos on there as well. So also we want to talk to the magic of the My Plate. If we've in the classes previously that I've taught, we've talked about My Plate. We talk about our, has all the different food sections on there. So fruits, vegetables, grains, proteins, and dairies. So once you know the building blocks of a healthy meal, the possibilities are endless. So we just want to make sure that we're aiming to consume 4 to 5 cups of fruits and vegetables a day, that we're eating colorful foods, that we eat 3 to 8 ounces of grains each day as well, trying to make them whole grains. If you do eat dairy, some people do, some people don't, depends on who you are, then getting or aiming to have 2 to 3 cups of fat-free or low-fat dairy and milk products a day. Also looking for proteins, your lean proteins as well. And there are also different types of proteins. So there's not just the meat proteins like the beef and pork and chicken that we usually consume. But depending on who you are, if you're a vegetarian or a vegan, there are also different types of vegetable protein or like proteins that are non-dairy. Non-proteins. Excuse me. Non-meat based proteins as well, like chickpeas and lentils and things of that nature as well. So this is just the My Plate in action. We talk a little bit about how there's different parts of the My Plate, and so we want to try to aim to have those different sections on there. And so there are different meals where you can have like each individual, like I have green beans and chicken and brown rice and whatever the case may be. But then you can also have things like casseroles where they have multiple groups in that one meal, and so you can have like the protein and the dairy and the chicken, the protein, the dairy, and the grains all mixed in one to make one meal as well. So don't count out those mixed meals as well. So once we want to make sure that we're creating a master list, so things that we can include are family favorites. Ask your family, get them involved. Don't let it just be you. If you have a larger family, if you have a smaller family, whatever the case may be, ask them what their family favorites are. Do double duty meals where you can use the chicken for one recipe one day, and then as a leftover, you can use it for something else. That is how we can use those double duty meals as well. Also non-recipe recipes, so things that you can just like throw together, like the grain bowls or things like that that are really popular. You can make those at home, and it's just finding things that in your pantry or from the grocery store that just mix together that doesn't really have a recipe to it, but you know that they'll still taste good. Also building up your list by keeping a dinner diary, knowing like I made this one week and everybody seemed to enjoy it, so that's going to go into rotation. That's one less meal I have to think about. Asking friends and families to share their go-to meals as well. And then browsing websites like foodtalk.org for recipes that you would like to try. And that is a way that you just don't have to use so much brain power to think, well, what am I going to eat tonight? What am I going to eat on Tuesday? What am I going to eat on Wednesday? What am I going to eat on Thursday? What am I going to eat on Friday? And so you can find some recipes, some good recipes on the foodtalk.org website. And they're generally healthy, and they are lower cost as well. So when you do that, compare your list to the My Plate. We want to make sure, am I getting half of my plate's fruits and vegetables? Do I have enough vegetables? Do I have vegetables at all in this meal? And so that's something to think about when you are planning your meals is, well, what sides do you have? Or do I want my main dish for this meal to be a vegetable or to be a grain or to be a protein? Are you varying your proteins? Or are you just eating the same old, same old? And sometimes that's where you can get stuck in that rut. And so we want to try different things. But especially when we're at the grocery store and we see that a certain type of protein might be more expensive than others, then we can venture out, try something new, especially if it's a little bit lower cost as well. Can we add some whole grains to this? And consider making a list of go-to fruits and vegetables that you know that you like, that you know that your family likes. I always forget that I like grapes until I eat them again. And I'm like, ooh, I forgot that I like grapes. I do the same thing with strawberries as well. And I'm like, ooh, I love strawberries. So don't forget your favorite fruits and vegetables that you know that you're going to be able to eat, that you know that are, not a challenge for you to eat. And so give that a try as well. And it doesn't have to be perfect. So we also want to consider our schedule. What does our week look like? Who will be home for meals, or is everybody just going to be out doing their own thing all week? What do we need for lunches? Do you work? Is there any work, church, sports commitments, alumni chapters, Greek chapter meetings, things like that? Is all these things going to affect our plans? And then does anybody have any special requests? It might be somebody's birthday, or, oh, I just had a taste for whatever it is. Let's put that on the list for this week. So just want to make sure that we are considering our schedule for the week so that we are able to make that reflect in our list. Especially if you shop weekly or every 2 weeks, you want to think far ahead so that you're able to know, I won't be wasting any food, or I know that I'll be able to eat all this food this week because I'm going to be home, or I won't be home, whatever the case may be. So this is the word of the week. Schedule is the word of the week. Hello, everybody. Schedule is the word of the week. We are, that is going to be the word that you can use this upcoming week. This class is pre-recorded right now because it is Monday. It is a holiday. We do observe all DeKalb County holidays. And so we will not be out Tuesday of this week, but we will resume our schedule Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I'll have all that at the very end, so you don't really have to think too much on it. But Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, when you do come up to our to shop for Fresh on Deck, then you can use the word of the week, which is schedule. The word of the week is schedule. I like to say it multiple times so the people can hear it. And so make sure you write that down. Make sure that you tell us that you know the word of the week and what the word of the week is. And then you'll be able to get $10 off you're up to $10 off your purchase. It is going to be only valid for this week. And also we ask that it's one per household, and then that you can only use it on the one day so once you use it the one time, then that is it for the week. We'll see you next Monday, right? Okay. So also, we want to make sure that we're being realistic when we're making our plans, our list before we go to the grocery store. So make sure that, we have all these grand ideas of, oh, I saw this on Pinterest. Oh, I saw this on Facebook. Oh, I saw this on wherever. And this looks so good, but it's so involved. And then you have 5 other super involved recipes for that week. And so sometimes that works for somebody, but sometimes it doesn't work for people. And so it might end up being too much. You have high aspirations on Monday, Tuesday. By the Wednesday, I'm ready for leftovers. Thursday, you can eat cereal. Friday is fend for yourself day. Saturday, the kitchen is closed. I'm not cooking. Y'all can eat the leftovers, whatever is left for this week. So we want to make sure that we're being realistic when we're making our meal plans. So sometimes it's just a simple meal. Sometimes it's soup and sandwich, and that's okay. We love soups and sandwiches. Sometimes it could be a little bit more elaborate meal, but it doesn't have to be an everyday elaborate meal. Just keep that in mind when you're doing your meal planning. Also, like we said, consider your schedule, having snack dinner for the sidelines, making sure that you can, I know it's the summertime and everybody's children is super active now. So making sure that you have these little snacks in the side for you. What works will change based on what is going on in your world. Going through the drive-through, you can add in some fruits and vegetables from home, so you can still get the meal, but you can also have a side of vegetables that you have already pre-prepared and brought with you, and you're still getting that added in. Instead of taking away all the fast food, you can add that in as well. And then also slow cooker meals are also really good because you turn it on before you go to work, you come back and it's already done. Also embrace the meal template. Taco Tuesdays, breakfast for dinners. It helps narrow down the options that you have. It starts the routine that you can think of. And then you can also make those slight tweaks to make it feel fresh as well. So like chicken tacos versus black bean tacos, or like the no dairy or the no meat tacos. Veggie omelets versus scrambled eggs, turkey burger versus lean beef burger, whatever the case, you can always tweak it to make it do something fresh, but you can have that template so that you don't have to overwork yourself as well. And also we want to make sure that we're shopping our house first to make sure that we have what's in our fridges, what's in our freezers, what's in our pantries. Are you going to end up buying another bottle of ketchup and you have 2 other bottles of ketchups in your pantry that you haven't opened yet? We want to make sure that we're not buying another bag of rice when you already have another bag of rice that you haven't used yet, right? So also we want to try recipes using pantry staples. So so that you can start using those items as well. And then also making your list that way. So this is just a general guide of stocking up your fridge and pantry. If you have all these items, then you can usually go through these items and add them to different meals and things like that as well. So we also want to find a system that works well for you. So if you like to have a big menu board that is in your kitchen, and you know, this is on Mondays, we're having this, Tuesdays, we're having this, and you write it out like that because you have smaller children in your house, or you have bigger children in your house and you just have stuff written down, you can do your menus like that. Or if you're more of a digital planner type of person, then sometimes that works well for people. They have like a running list and everybody adds what they need to the list, and it automatically updates and populates for you. So when you go to the grocery store, you have what everybody put on their list, and if they didn't put it on the list, then that's their problem, right? So you can have it like that, or if you're a back of the envelope type person, then that works for you as well. Or you can also sit down and do it with your little people or your bigger little people in your home, and get them involved in learning how to plan for meals. You say that you want this for dinner one night. Let's see how we can make that together. Let's see what does that all entail. And it helps them add in that like an added interest in, well, this is what I wanted for dinner on Tuesday, and I shopped for it, and I'm gonna help make it, and it's delicious, and I made it, and it's like a sense of pride for them as well. So you can do whatever system works for you. And so also there's ways that you can write out your shopping list guide. You can organize it by the list, by how your store is laid out. If you have a popular store that you go to every week, or you have like your same 2 or 3 stores that you always go to, you kind of know what the sections, what the food sections in your grocery store look like. So you'll know, when you walk in, on the right, it's the deli, on the left, it's the produce, whatever. So you can organize the list by how your store is laid out, so that you're able to make sure, so that that you're able to get everything that you need and not forget it. And have to leave all your stuff at the checkout line because you have to run and go grab whatever. And so you can have it sectioned out by fruits and vegetables, canned foods, grain products, dairy, meats, and frozen foods. Always try to leave your frozen foods for last, because if you're in the grocery store shopping for a couple hours, you don't want to thaw your frozen foods out while you're shopping around. But just look and see what is like how your grocery store is laid out. You can think about it in your head, or you can maybe draw it out if you're more of a visual person, and like, oh, I'm going to go here first, and then go around the store that way. And that is also a way of making sure that you just don't forget anything, and that you don't have to run back throughout the week and grab some things that you forgot. So the recipe of this week is peach salsa. This is one of my favorite recipes for Fresh on Deck. I really do like a lot of the recipes. Some things aren't my jam because I just don't like whatever it is. But this one is one of my top 5 favorite recipes. And so next I'm going to show you the video of how you can prepare it as well. So that is just one of those recipes that can go on, you can eat it by itself, or it can go as a topping on like chicken, a grilled chicken or something like that. And it's just so good. I really like it. You can eat it with tortilla chips. You can put it in a wrap or whatever the case may be. I just really like this recipe. So, so also some tips for every Al. Just use these tips below as a to buy budget-friendly and healthy options from every food group. So for fruits and vegetables, you can choose fruits that are canned, and 100% fruit juice and vegetables with the low sodium or no salt added on the label. These products are just as nutritious and fresh, and they often cost less as well, just depending on if whatever the fruit or vegetable that you're trying to buy is in season and not. Or not. And so if you also have the freezer space, stock up on frozen vegetables without the added sauces and butters. Frozen vegetables are also good for you as fresh, as just as good as the fresh ones. And they also might cost less as well. Canned and frozen fruits and vegetables last a lot longer than fresh. And so just depending on what your lifestyle is, sometimes frozen is better for you. Frozen or canned is better for you because you are not as, or you might be super busy, and by the time you get around to it, your fresh fruits and vegetables might have gone bad. So we want to make sure that we're just getting all our fruits and vegetables and not be biased on how we get them in. So sometimes you can buy in-season produce, which also costs less and have peak flavor as well. So it just depends on the situation. For grains, you want to make half of your grains whole grains. So and then also while shopping, check your ingredient list and pick out items that have whole grains. You can also choose hot cereals like plain oatmeal and whole grain dry cereal as well. And then also trying some new snacking ideas, popping your own popcorn, and trying different flavors that way. And so that could be a good way to adding in different grains into your everyday diet. Protein. Some low-cost protein foods include beans, peas, and lentils, such as kidney beans, lima beans, split peas, and garbanzo beans or chickpeas. They usually cost less than the similar amount of other protein foods. And so if to lower some meat costs, you can buy the family size or the value size and freeze what you don't use. And then also try to choose lean meats like chicken and turkey. And then when choosing ground beef, then try to choose its leaner version, like the 93% lean fat-free ground beef as well. And then also for our dairy, if you are a dairy drinker, try to choose some low-fat or fat-free milks. You can buy the larger size of the low-fat plain yogurts instead of like the single mixed flavor yogurts. And you can add in your own flavors by stirring in and mixing in your own fruits and toppings and things like that as well. Also, we want to try to understand the price tag. So the price tag on the shelf has a lot of information on it. So it's not just like what the price is or whatever it is. It's good to understand what the numbers mean, and this section can break it down for you. So sometimes the retail price, this is the price that you're going to pay for one single item. The unit price is the cost of an item by its size or its unit. This can be by pound or ounce, quarts, or any other measurement. It can also be very useful when you are comparing two items. So if you're looking at like the store brand and the big name brand, that's one way that you can compare as well. And then this image shows two different price tags on a shelf based on the unit price. You can see that the larger container is a better buy because you're getting more for your money, especially if you are a yogurt eater or something like that. Sometimes getting the bigger, it just depends on the store that you're at that time, and the price that it is. But sometimes getting the bigger might be more bang for your buck, especially if you eat a lot of it. And so the unit price can be found by the total price divided by the size, which is that equals the unit price. So the unit price of the 6-ounce yogurt that has a retail price that you pay is 72 cents. So it'll be 72 cents divided by the 6 ounces. And so that is the unit price of this yogurt is 12 cents per ounce. And so here you see that this 6 ounce is 12 cents per ounce, but up here, this 32 ounce is 5 cents per ounce. So sometimes the bigger it just depends on the situation as well. So in this case, the the bigger tub of yogurt is a better price. So some shopping tips, again, looking for less costly items on higher or lower shelves as well. Get refrigerated and frozen food items last. We want to shop alone if possible. Sometimes that's not always the case. And also try to do it when you're not tired or hungry, like at the end of a work day, and you know you have to stop and do this, and that. And so you might be more likely to impulse buy something when you are tired and hungry. Don't forget your shopping list and stick to it. Watch for mistakes at the checkout as well. This happened to me actually a couple weeks ago. I thought that something was like buy one, get one free, but it was actually buy two, get one free. And so I was looking at the checkout and I was like, what price is this? And so I was like, oh, okay. I asked, she told me, and I was like, oh, okay, well, never mind. Let me just get one. I don't need the three. I just needed the one. And I thought if I was going to get buy one, get one free, that's fine. So make sure that you watch for mistakes at checkout as well. And then also try to repurpose our leftovers and handle and store food properly to prevent food waste as well. So like I was saying before, we want to try to mix in our fresh, frozen, and canned into our everyday diets, because it just depends on what your lifestyle is, depends on what you need. So consider all forms of fruits and vegetables in your recipes. We want to try to choose fresh if there are in season, because they're usually cheaper and a lot tastier. But then you can also do frozen and canned when they're out of season. So frozen is often picked at its peakness for freshness, choosing fruits that are packed in 100% fruit juice or water, and then also choosing vegetables with low or no salt added. And those are ways that you can just get in those fruits and vegetables into your diets. Make your life easier later by thinking of meats and grains that you can prepare and eat multiple ways. So like I was saying, those double duty meals, if you have chicken breast one week or one day, and then the next couple of days you shred that chicken up and you add in some salsa and whatever, and you make a whole new meal to it. So think of those double duty meals like that. Prep your veggies when you get home for salads and snacks. You can roast a pan of vegetables to throw everything in together. That's one of my favorite methods, is going to the grocery store, getting multiple different things, chopping them up. I'll end up having 2 big Tupperwares of chopped up vegetables, and then throughout the week I can just season it how I want it to, and then have it with a grain and a protein, and that's my meal for the week. And it's usually low cost, because you can get the vegetables that are on sale or whatever the case may be. And so try that as well. Making a double batch and freezing half of it, like chilies, meatballs, lasagnas, pancakes as well. And then freezing some single serve options like burritos and breakfast sandwiches and soups. Just so that you're able to make your life a little bit easier and the back end. We want to try to reduce our food waste, only purchasing what you and your family will actually use for that week, only preparing what you can eat in 2 or 3 days, and then making the freezer your friend, trying recipes that use up leftovers such as frittatas and quiches, and those double duty meals as well. So here's just one of those non-recipe type meals I was talking about before, is like those grain bowls. You can choose a whole grain, get whatever vegetables that you have at home or whatever is in your pantry, the canned vegetables, picking a protein. You can flavor it with sauces and herbs, and then you can just serve and enjoy. So there's different ways of doing it. You can have Mexican grain bowls, Cajun grain bowls, Thai curry, Greek, Asian, make your own type of creation. It just depends on what you have in your pantry already that you can just swap out different things. So next is going to be our physical activity suggestion for this week. It is a walking workout. So if you like to walk in your home, if you like the air conditioning and you still want to be active, that's okay, because here's one of the videos that I like to show.
Step touches, boom. Now we're mixing the old school with the new school today. We've got disco, funk vibe, modern tunes with some old school tunes. Let me tell you, this playlist is absolute fire today. Let's bring it back home to marches. Now, first time to my workouts, welcome. I do not care if you get every single step wrong today. It doesn't matter. As long as you're having a good time, that's all that counts. We're going to do a side double. Looks like this. Side, double it up. Side, double.
So this is one of those videos where it has the music, it has walking, it has the upbeat dancing, so you can dance and walk at the same time. And it's 10 minutes. So if you want it to, just depending on what your goals are for the week, if it is just to be more physically active, then trying that video out just for 10 minutes. If you want to pause it at the 5-minute mark, take a break, and then do it again. Do the last 5 minutes at another time, then just getting any kind of physical activity in is great. Doesn't matter how you do it, doesn't matter how long you do it, as long as you try to do it, that's okay. So that just depends on whatever goals that you have with these classes as well. So I just wanted to have my email address here if you had any questions. If you wanted to get that workout video as well, then feel free to email me. My email is JAM as in Mary, ILLE, Hawkins, HAWKIN as in Nancy S, at UGA.edu. And so you can feel free to email me there if you have any questions or comments or anything. On the right is our weekly evaluation that I ask that you always fill out for us every week, every time I show this QR code and website link, just so that we're able to get in some good information from you all, some evaluation information that will be helpful for us. And then also on the left, this is our social media and our website, freshondek.com. Our Facebook is Fresh on Deck. Our Instagram is Fresh on Deck. That's where you can find a lot of our up-to-date information. You can find where you can find us on our locations as well, or if we have any like weather advisories or things like that, then you can find that information there. So this is our schedule. Like I was saying before, I have our holiday schedule right here. So we will not be out on Tuesday, June 20th, 2023, due to our Juneteenth holiday. We do observe all DeKalb County holidays. Our normal schedule will resume Wednesday, June 21st, 2023. And so we will not be out on Wednesday, but Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we will be out of this week. So make sure that you come and join us at Scott Candler Library, Lou Walker Senior Center, Clarkson Community Center, East Lake YMCA, Reserve at Harrison Lake, and then also at the DeKalb County Extension Office. Also, with the word of the week that we have said before, you will also be able to request a kitchen gadget at this week's stop because you have attended this class. Just another incentive or a thank you goodie for joining us for this week. So once again, our Tuesday sites are canceled due to the Juneteenth holiday. We will resume on Wednesday. And so I hope we can all see you out there, and I hope you all have a great day. Thank you. Have a great day.